So this exercise has many names. I know that a lot of people when they teach have used this exercise. It can be called the hero and the villain, the dom and the sub, the goodie and the baddie, but essentially you're just taking each card one at a time and saying, is it a superhero or is it a villain? Is it a goodie or is it a baddie? It's not too dissimilar to the yes or no, positive and negative, but what you're doing is you're going to apply that to the person in the card. So this person looks somewhat sinister, so I'm going to say that he's a baddie. Okay? This, when we've got multiple things, then you're going to have to pick the overall, who's the dominant person in the card. For me, that's the angel. It's the biggest character. It's also the only one with any real color to it. It's got red wings and that. And I'm going to say that it's a baddie. So basically, hero, villain. Okay, so you're just going to go through each one. Hero, villain, goodie, baddie. Okay, dominant or submissive even. So just go through the deck and do that now. Once you have done that, we're going to kick things up a notch and we're going to take 2 cards, okay? And then we're going to decide amongst the 2 cards that we pick, which one is the hero and which one is the villain, which is the goodie, which is the baddie. For me, this one is the villain, this one is the goodie, okay? I could go into why I think that, but I want you to form your opinion on a couple of these. So which one's the dominant, which one's the submissive, which one is the character-wise, which one overall. And again, we've got multiple people. So are you going to zoom in on one particular person on this out of these people? Which one are you going to zoom in on? Are you going to meld them all together? Are you going to create a character or general feel from the card? Because of course not all of them have people in necessarily. So if you had to pick a card here, which one would be the goodie and which one would be the baddie? Would this one be the baddie because he looks like he's shady and he's gonna steal things or is stealing things? Is this one gonna be the goodie because he looks like some kind of angel coming down from a cloud? You know, what is it? Which one's the goodie and which one's the baddie? Okay, which one's the goodie, which one's the baddie? Now, is this person a good person that's handing out money, or is this a slave owner that's keeping these people poor? Is this person a hero, or is this person just beating that person up in the background and killed his entire family? We don't know. It's up to you, the interpretations you're going to give, but pick hero, villain, goodie, baddie. Hero, villain, goodie, baddie, which is which? Of course, you have to pick one as the hero and you have to pick one as the baddie. Okay, so carry on doing that, and then I've got one last version of this exercise. Okay, and this is essentially we're going from hero and villain and we're going to change it slightly to, if you say hero and villain, which one is the superhero and which one is the sidekick. So which one's the dominant card? Which one's the boss? Which one's the supporting card? Okay, so which is the dom, which is the submissive? Which card to you says, I'm the one that's in charge? Which one sticks out more than the other one? Is it the king? Because he's on the throne and he's a king and therefore should technically be in charge? Or is this the group of people? Does that card really have the power? Are these the 3 powerful witches from Macbeth? And that's Macbeth. Who's the more powerful? What impressions do you get? Which card is the most powerful? Is this card the submissive card because she is banged and cannot move and this person is free? What impressions do you get? Which one's the dominant card? Which one's the submissive card? This might be a little bit more difficult perhaps, because they're both, you know, is that person walking off in defeat? Is that person crying? Do you apply a good meaning and a bad meaning to each of them? Are they both bad for you? Either way, which one's more powerful? If you take this for example, what I would see is that this person is in true despair. This person may be walking away, but they're choosing to walk away. What are they walking away from? Well, all of these gold cups. They're choosing to walk away. They're just dwelling, trying to cope with the situation, probably not coping very well. So I'd say that's the dominant card, that's the submissive card. I'm reading into these things a bit. You know, you can tell I read tarot cards. I read into this a bit too much. So hero and villain, which one? Which one's the dominant, which one's the submissive? Yeah? So there's a couple of interpretations that can be made. Okay? Now if you want to kick things up a notch again, because these are all kind of variations on the same exercise, then select 3. We've got Batman, Robin, and the Joker. We've got the hero, we've got the villain, and then we've got the psychic. So which one is the hero, which one is the villain, and which one is the psychic? Yeah? Of course, we've got the hero here. We've got the psychic here, sidekick, and then we've got the Joker, we've got the baddie. Why did I see that? Well, the superhero seems to be the most active. He's wielding a sword, he's running into battle. This one here is, I'm feeling a negative card, and generally you would associate the baddie as the negative, the villain the negative. Not always the case, I know, but most of the time you've got this person possibly pushing these people into despair, into the daggers. This one doesn't really say a lot, it doesn't have much to say for itself. And what doesn't really underpin a comic book or a superhero story? Well, the psychic, they're just there for support. This card very much is there for support for me. This one's where the action is. There's some despair. This person is charging in to beat this person up and save that person. This is just there on the table, you know? So again, what are you thinking? Superhero, villain, psychic. Which is which? I'm not going to answer that one, you decide. And you know, well, you should be following along with your own deck of cards or the printouts by now. But one of those things, so when we've done that a couple of times, you know, on each exercise, so when you've gone through the deck and you've decided out of each one, obviously at the beginning just taking one by one, is it a villain or is it a hero, what is it? You can go one by one, dominant or submissive card, goodie or baddie, and then apply 2 to tell the difference, and then of course apply 3. So you're picking up on dominance and submissive, and then you're picking up on basically characters. Now the reason I'm using characters from comic books and that sort of thing is because everyone kind of gets the idea of that, or you should get the idea of that. You've got, if we're going to assume here, we've got the villain, we've got the superhero, and then we've got the sidekick. Now you might not think of that in the same order, and there's no right or wrong to this, it's just your interpretation. We've got the baddie because that seems like a negative card. After all, the baddie does all of the work, don't they? They're the one that comes up with the evil kind of mastermind plan, and then the hero comes and just beats them up, breaks it, generally with a crown and a good reputation. The one that gets the girl at the end of the day, or the boy at the end of the day, and then you've got like this person just waving a sword around in the background, the extra, you know? If you want to think of it a different way, you can think main character, extra. On a TV show. Who's the main character? Who's the extra? Yeah? But that's just the basic point. So again, here what we're doing is, of course, this is kind of like a 3-card spread, isn't it? So we're zooming in on different and assigning archetypes to each card. We're assigning characters and feelings we get to each card. Okay? So again, what we're going to start doing now in the next couple of videos is we're going to start applying questions. Now they're going to be imaginary questions. They're not necessarily going to be real life questions that there's a right or a wrong answer to, because at this stage, of course, we're still just getting used to the idea of what we can use these cards for. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, and you don't want to panic saying, oh, well, I need to answer this question right, or, oh, I didn't get that question right. That means I don't have a clue what I'm doing, and this is new to you. So, the next one will be slightly more advanced, and we're just taking little steps, baby steps, isn't that what they say? So there we go. If you've managed to do that exercise or those variations of that exercise, then skip to the next video.